While America struggles to flatten the curve, Australia's Prime Minister says his country could be fully reopened by July. This morning, he announced an easing of the nation's lockdown. With a population of around 25 million, Australia has reported just over 6,900 coronavirus cases and fewer than 100 deaths. Holly Williams reports on why the country has fared relatively well.
Surf's up again in the land down under, as Australians return to a socially distanced, temperature-checked, sanitised version of normality. The country of around 25 million has lost fewer than 100 lives to the new virus, and the number of new cases slowed to a trickle weeks ago. It could be partly down to the climate. The virus arrived in the southern hemisphere's summer, but Australia's also been praised for its decisive action. The country closed its doors to nearly all foreigners in mid-March, with returning residents doing mandatory quarantine in hotels paid for by the government. They ramped up testing early, and now there's a smartphone app that allows the government to trace infections.
It's vital to know quickly if you've come in contact with someone who has
It's raised privacy concerns, but over 5 million people have downloaded it, agreeing with their Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, that by refusing to, they'd put themselves at risk.
It's like not putting on sunscreen to go out into the blazing sun.
In spite of the fact that Australians like to, think of themselves as being rebels who don't like authority, actually, when it comes to the crunch, we do what we're told.
Waleed Ali is a journalist and commentator who works for an Australian network owned by Viacom CBS.
The result has been an incredible flattening of almost a crushing of the curve here in Australia, and we're very proud of it.
4 months ago, Prime Minister Morrison was heckled on the street for his response to devastating bushfires.
Nah, you're an idiot, mate.
Now, after setting up a bipartisan national cabinet to fight the virus, his approval ratings are up 30% since January.
This is the best that Australian politics has worked for, well, forever, really.
Forever?
I mean, in my lifetime. I don't remember seeing Australian politics work as well as this.
In some countries, the new virus has pushed people further apart. But as Australia opens up, its people seem to have been bound closer together. For CBS This Morning, Holly Williams.
Maybe some lessons there for this country.